Meet. My name is Wawea Notinoki from the Menominee Nation of Wisconsin. I want to say welcome to you and introduce you to lip balm making, simple lip balm making, and plantain salve. And if we come over here and we look at what plant that we're going to be using calendula or calendula also it's called. And what it is it looks like a real yellow orangish daisy, and it's really easy to grow. And the medicinal part that we're using today is the flower heads on the plant itself. This plant is really easy to grow. You basically seed it. It comes up in about 4 to 6 weeks, and you pop the flower heads off. An easy way to dry it, I either dry it on a screen or use a paper bag. If you do paper bag drying, it's really good to shake the bag at least once a day and keep it open just so that you don't get any kind of wetness or dampness in it to cause the plant to mildew. And today I'm working with the SDI on the Tiny Soils project, and we have our students who weren't able to make their last class due to the COVID epidemic and the tribe shutting down. But what we did was we put the steps in, and there's 4 basic steps to lip balm making. The first step is that you want to take your dried plant, and if you come and look over here, what I've done is I just took a basic carrier oil, which is almond oil and grapeseed oil in this mixture, and I took the calendula flower heads and I infused them for about 8 hours in the oil. What this does is it releases the medicinal property in it, and we're able to take this and move to the second step, which is going to be straining the herbs. This is just an unbleached cheesecloth that I use, a basic strainer from my kitchen, and a pot. And if you try this at home, you should probably have an adult because this can be very, very hot. But calendula is one of my favorite plants. I really like using it because it's got such a strong medicinal healing factor for our skin. It actually is the only medicine that I know that repairs the cell structure at every level, so it goes deep to rejuvenate and replenish the skin. Not only is it really good as a lip balm, but if you have teenage kids at home, it's really good for an acne wash as well. If we're looking internally at what calendula would do if we drank it as a tea, it's a sweeter tea when you drink it. It helps with varicose veins. It helps with ulcers in the stomach. And you always have to think whatever pops to the surface of the skin is something that happens internally first within our intestinal tract. So a lot of times when people come and talk to me, there's something on their skin, and I really have to look at internally what's going on first. Almost all disease manifests first from our intestinal tract, so it's always important, with the skin being our largest organ, we really look at what's going on with it and looking at it internally first, what we can do. So this first step was I took the calendula herb, mixed it with almond oil and grapeseed oil, which the oils themselves are natural preservatives. So what I'm going to do is, after straining this, this is very hot. Monty, can you come hold this for me so that I can if you can hold this here so it doesn't flop in here. What I'm going to do is unplug my crock pot. Like I said, it's been in here cooking for 6 to 8 hours on a very low heat because I don't want my medicine to burn. And what we're going to do, watch your fingers. The cheesecloth and the metal strainer just help with sediment. But a long time ago, Our people probably strained it to a point, but also left a lot of sediment in it too, which won't hurt you. Because I grow this myself, all this stuff I generally compost to save it, give it back to the Mother Earth. So our second step is a strain, and then I have a melted beeswax already melted in here. And I like using, sometimes I have a beekeeper that I get beeswax from. I kind of really like these little beeswax beads. And if you look at it, they're just little granules. I just like them because they help for everything to melt faster. So what I've done is some of this is already melted. Because this is such a small amount, I think, what is this? 16 fluid ounces, so I used 1.5. I used half of grapeseed oil and a whole almond oil. I'm only gonna put, this is a 1/3 cup, probably 2/3 cup of melted beeswax in there. Okay. And I'm just going to add a little bit more in there for our plantain sap. Okay, so we've come to the point where we're moving on to step 3 now. We've added the melted beeswax in here. I'm gonna give it a stir. Beeswax also acts as a preservative. It solidifies our product, makes it solid. Long time ago, our ancient ones, our ancestors, they'd use a lot of animal fat to solidify things. A good way to measure too, our people a long time ago, they'd measure by the hand and they'd measure by the thumb. You know, a cup and a tablespoon. So I'm gonna give that a good stir. And then what we did was we got these little lip balm containers, and I think what one should we use today, girls? I got lavender, orange, lemon, and lime. That's what I thought too. Orange is really nice for an essential oil. My grandkids love it. What they do is they smell it, and it actually helps with ADHD. It calms children down. But we can use essential oils as well, medicinally. And what we do is we put a drop on our finger, rub it together. From here to here is our olfactory opening. There's sensors in there. And when we use the essential oil, we rub it like this, smell it, take another drop, and then rub it on the temples of our forehead. But with kids, all I gotta do is open the bottle and they like coming and smelling it. But that's also, that olfactory opening is a really nice, unique way that we have to use the essential oils. Those receptors bind at a molecular level with that oil, and they send the message to the brain of what to do. So we're really unique with being able to use the olfactory opening too for medicinal medicine, especially the essential oils. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, what's easiest for me to fill lip balm containers is, this is just a basic turkey baster, and all I'm going to do is load this up. Give it a couple stirts, because I always use this just for lip balm making. And then what I need is someone to come and put a couple of drops of the orange in each one, and then I need another person to take the toothpick to stir. That's just to get the essential oils around into the lip balm.
Put these in first?
Yep, let me know where you're starting and I'll kind of follow you. And then she can stir it.
Stir it once you...
Yep, once I get it in there. And then we're just gonna leave them sit till they get solid. This is probably the easiest way. I'll show you. So those of you that might grow calendula or calendula at home, you can use the flower heads as a wash. You could make a tea, really good for acne, and overall healing the skin. And then internally, if we have ulcers, we can use it, rub it on for varicose veins. The way that orange essential oil works is when it hits the brain, it acts as a nervine, hits our central nervous system, and it calms us down. That's why it's really effective. I have teachers that use it in their classroom. I have parents that have ADHD kids that use it. Okay, so if you look at this, I have all these filled, but I'm going to go back and fill them again because they settle down. Some of the precautions about when you make your own product. Of course, the carrier oil and the beeswax acts as a preservative. But you probably don't want to expose it to high heat and then cold heat. It can actually make your lip balm go bad. Because we're looking at a 100% handmade product that there is no additive put into it to make it last longer. So we have that solidness. That's what we want to acquire before, so that when you're ready to use it, it's solid. You're not having hot oil on there. And so just to give, in closing, just to give an explanation again about why we use the calendula. It's really good to heal the skin at all 3 levels. Internally, it's really good for any disease or illness that might be manifesting, like ulcers, stomach ache. Topically, it's good for a wash, and it's probably one of my favorite plants that I like to use. And I'll say Poso, thank you for watching.